Hello, this is Vulturefire, and it's time for more being bad and getting mad. Um, I'm going to once again be throwing myself at Battered Ramparts with this new save and seeing if I can successfully win a depth 3 run with a low level character. So, we get to open 2 more packs. Hopefully they will have things we want. There's Meditate! Okay, we're in business. That's huge. We also got Twinning Ritual. And Soul Shield is not bad. So Soul Shield is another way to get adept. So those are both huge pickups. And Empower is a way to scale. And Last Resort isn't bad. Especially if you just find yourself needing to, cut your life into pieces. All right, we will take that. I keep feeling like there should be a confirmation here, but whatever. I think we do want to go ahead and buy Tier 1 Astral Spyglass. And then I think that's it for now. Okay, that deck was trash. We are throwing it in the garbage. We can also throw that in there. I suppose that'll just create a new default deck. Which, because we do not have Meditate, it gets to keep it. We're still going to hurl everything into the garbage when we start. Let's start with our starting deck. Start with the start. The other thing is we now have level 4. So I didn't realize, I wasn't thinking that we did indeed get this passive at the end of the first run in the last video. So, alright. Which means that applying statuses is now more valuable. We still don't have any Arcane. We still don't have any Shock. But we do now have Meditate, which I scrolled past. We even have Rattling Strike, so we could build the Increasing Stab deck, but that is a Merly thing, not really a Raodan thing. So, Meditate is Adept, which is very good. I think we want probably Heavy Stand still. I think we still want Heavy Stand and Hobble. Those are both still good. I don't think we want the Soul Shield, but we might. It's not the worst thing to have. So that we get Adept. The big question, I think the Drain Life has done very good work. I don't think we can afford Runic Study. So for mana, I like the Mana Shields. I like... I'm debating whether I want the Resolute Focus or not. It'll depend partially on how many spells we end up using. I think we can go Focus, Resolute Focus. That seems okay. The focus going up to, although I do kind of just want to get 2 Chilling Focuses in here, because that just turns on certain cards as being very, very good. Kind of like having 1 Chill. I think we are going to have 1 Ice Blast. And then the last card I'm not sure about. That one could be the Soul Shield. Like, there are a lot of things where having a bunch of... there are a bunch of situations where, like, having a bunch of shield is useful. The Thriving Spirit did solid work for us, but I don't know that we want to try and rely on that going forward. Vicious Retort isn't the worst option. Introspection is fine. I don't hate just having the second Heavy Stand, because Heavy Stand has done good work. I just don't know if it does enough work to justify running 2 of them. You're pretty heavy on mana, which is a reason to run like the Block as another shield card. See, the Introspection helps us cycle the deck faster, which can be useful. The Moonlit Reverie is just more growth, but I don't think we need it. We could actually run the Pierce we can run 1 Pierce, I think, and that should be fine. Since we are now leaning a little bit more into the Frost stuff. And especially in the card pool, I think we are going to run a good amount of Frost. So let's go Mana Eruption. Spry Vigor. Maybe we'll put Twinning Ritual in for now. I think that it may end up being good, it may end up being bad. Empower is a maybe. Empower is a sometimes food. Flash Freeze is good, Blizzard is good, Frost Fracture is good, Elemental Conflict is good. Aether Storm is good, so is Singularity. I can't run all of these. I think we cut that and do these 2 instead. That seems okay. Yeah, that seems okay. Okay, so mana-wise, this isn't mana, but Mind Seed is always good. Icy Concentration is good. Mana Ritual is so-so, but isn't bad. Arms Race, we might find value for, and we beggars can't be choosers as far as mana goes. Last Resort seems solid for this list. Stroke of Genius I don't know that we can use. Although, the advantage to trying to put some wit stuff in is that then we could use Sublime Blast and Height of Knowledge, which might be worth it. What do we have that gives us wits? It may just be like the Moonlit Reverie. I don't hate running Sublime Blast with only... the Soul Shield seems okay. That's the reason to fit, but I don't think we want the Soul Shield in the starting deck. I do like that and that. This, the advantage is, so the wits can be iffy, but we get mana boost and growth and adept from Meditate, which is nice. I'm still not going to run you Mana Blossom. Mana Blossom is just going to have to be sad. Chilling Focus. I don't hate Mana Blast. It's like Brainstorm, I like Mind Shield. Mind Blast. Again, we really want like Arcane or Shock stuff. And this is another thing where it's like, if we were in the other area, we could rely on getting those things to work. Getting things like Arcane Aegis or Shocking Grasp, but we don't have access to those. Let's see. Runic Study, I don't think we can consistently trip. I would probably take another Hobble if we were offered it. I would probably take another Ice Blast, I guess. Maybe. I'd probably take another Meditate, honestly. I don't hate Sharpened Senses. Okay, this is kind of a weird stack of cards. No, how do breaches? Okay. I do not know. Well, that was interesting. I don't even know what we did to make that happen, so I can't file a bug report. How do breaches? That's a good name. And away we go. Some people think I'm good at this game. Some people have said that like some people in Discord are like, oh, you know, Falterfire, you're the best player. You should do blah blah. It's like I'm very much not. I am a terrible player. One of these days we'll get somebody making videos who is actually good at this game, and then I'll look like the utter fool that I am. All right, so we're fighting Robotic Mass. We're having to deal with Blinding Clouds and Scorching Winds. This will all be fine. Okay, so this is the easy one. This one wasn't too difficult, which is kind of a pain in the butt. We don't want to deal with those three, I think. Especially because we don't have elite cards in the game yet. They are apparently supposed to be in the game, but oneday just messed up and didn't put them in. I think we don't really care about either of the Benta cards, so I'm going to avoid them. The cards that we want are actually attached to this turret. Drops a couple really good shield cards. We're going to start here. All right. We can actually sequence like this. It's pretty good turn one. Okay. The evasion is annoying. I'll just do that to just get rid of the evasion. Yeah, so like this is now at 19, which means that this will freeze again. And these guys get just so much. These guys tank up just so hard, so quick. Okay. Dump more shield, more frost on you. Let's see what that gives us. All right. Just keep dumping frost. Okay. Just keep getting shield. And yeah, this fight is going to be very clean. It looks like. I hope. Oh, I meant to get the meditate out first, but it doesn't matter a ton. Yeah, Pierce does scale up pretty slow, which is the reason I don't love it, but I like Spirit Swarm still. And I like the upgrade on it a lot. Having a way to stack powerful is nice. So yeah, we're just getting Area 1 events for now until the other events show up. I think that fight seems like it could be a bang. So it's weird to me that these are both, because like, notice that there's two Bentis here, and this is just the one dork. I think that this event is fine. This fight should be fine. Alright, you are a jerk because you're going to try and kill our Spirit Swarm. But that's not lethal, so should be fine. Why is everything in this area, like, in Area 1, things stack the other thing on each other. Here they just, like, straight up stack powerful on each other instead of death scores. Just why wait? This is an awkward hand. Mana? Alright, there's some mana. Still kind of awkward, but this is again why we're running the whatchamacallit? The Drain Life, because these guys just So we're gonna get to have the first one die, and we take a little bit of damage. That's unfortunate. It's going to kill one of our guys. Unless we freeze him, which we can do. And just damage you because we don't need to deal with the evasion when that's going to happen. We may need more shield cards. By which I mean we need more shield cards. And we kind of need more card draw. Donk. The mana shields are doing good work though. Hey, we can finally stack some powerful. We cannot freeze either of them, which means that we're going to lose with the jerk. Do that. Although we do at least get to do damage to that back one before it kills our front Spirit. And now this time we will actually explode if we don't get a freeze off, which looks like we will not get a freeze off. Oh no, we will. I can't do math. Yeah, like I don't like how slowly Pierce scales, because you do have to freeze the same thing like 3 times to get for Pierce to do really respectable damage. And I think that we may be better off with just having that other thing. Pack Tactics, I don't think we want. I think we'll take Height of Knowledge. I think we can afford it, and it is decent draw. So, of all the fights, this is kind of the one I'm least scared of. Our math really doesn't work out here as far as mana goes, unfortunately. But yeah, because like the fact that this starts at only 6 on normal enemies is pretty bad, and then you have to wait a full turn, and it scales up to 12, and that's not bad, but it's just kind of slow, you know? You know. I could freeze here and get damage out, or I can just get the heal. I think we'll do that. We'll find a chance to... There are just so many debuffs that I did not want to have them all. None for me, thanks. And so we have everything but the wits. We draw 4 cards. That seems good. This actually works out very nicely. This could be an AoE attack actually because of how... Okay, it wasn't. Because the lifesteal and the AoE, and the lifesteal will cover up the fact that an attack is AoE. Because of the 2 traits, the whatever gets precedent. But yeah, like... Just scales so slow. And it gets half benefit from damage modifiers. Right, got back to full health. Excellent. And we're making good progress towards getting this kill. Okay, and those are... That's good to know. So those are not the dangerous debuffs, because it does throw out debuffs that actually are a pain in the butt. 21 damage. Eat it. Okay. I kind of like the soul shield here, because I've been saying that I said that we kind of just need more shield, and that also gives us a wit source. I don't think we want that. That actually seems okay. So yeah, because like this guy does 2x3 bait, is doing 2x3 here, which is just nothing. The Spirit will end up eating up our shock stacks, but we're mostly doing it for the growth. We can draw 4 cards. Yep. I think we are going to freeze. And damage. I don't think we got growth out of... Did we get growth out of that shock? I think we must have. Hubble. Okay, we get freeze. Yeah. Slowly but surely. But yeah, like this guy, we frozen it a couple turns, but it's still just not doing that much. Yeah, like look at this guy. Look at this guy compared to like what the gargoyles were doing to us every turn. This is nothing. That gets us all of our cards. Yep. Yeah, 27. I guess that does now scale. Like against the bosses, it scales a little better. And like yeah, critting for 3. Oh no! Oh no! This guy is definitely getting buffed. Like everything else in the area is getting nerfed. That guy is getting buffed. Now, we're not gonna get a freeze here. But we're also not going to take any damage. And like we're bleeding, but we're not even bleeding that bad. And we have lethal from our spirits. And we can just end turn and win. And we have enough shield to block if we hadn't gotten the kill off the spirits. Yeah, that guy's just a pushover. We can't really get value out of that. Elemental Complex is pretty good. And I think that's better than Twinning Ritual. For upgrades, I really like Spirit Swarm Plus. The fact that it becomes 0 cost is just very nice. I don't think there's anything we want to cut. I think we're just moving on. Okay, this fight can be annoying. Questions, which of these two do we do? I think we actually just set up the shield, because my assumption here is that, yeah, that's an okay way to use up that shock. Yeah, because, I mean, we're going to be shocked here, but let's apply weak. Let's see what, and then, yeah, okay, so we're going to take some damage here, but not as much as it looks like, because one of the shock is going to go away here. Yeah, so we take substantially less damage from the back one. Okay, I don't love the evasion, but, so this will do a big boom on somebody. How bad do we think this is going to... Actually, I think we want to do that so that we can get rid of the... So this way we don't get shocked this turn. And we don't get Arcane detonated because... Oh, but you do. That's unfortunate. Okay. So we are going to freeze you. Heavy stand. We are unfortunately going to get shocked here. And we're going to take major damage, but front one dies. Oh, we don't have enough buff for me to justify doing that. I think we just get the shield, because the shield is better than the heal here, I think. Yeah, so you're dead. We take some damage. Not too much. And we just kind of need to find more shield. Okay. This will at least shock and arcane detonate. We can actually do that first, and then this will. And the reason I did it in that order is because I wanted to get the 20 damage detonation off, although we probably could have gotten more damage out of... Yeah, we would have gotten more damage if we'd just done that in the other order and gotten the Especially we could have, yeah, I should have played the Ice Blast second. Whatever. It's fine. It's all fine. I hate these freaking evasion stacks that these guys keep setting up. And we're taking 15 damage detonation here. Good, yeah, we're gonna get shocked. And then we're gonna get detonated. Okay, we'll lose one of those guys. It's fine. It's fine. More damage than I would have liked to have taken, obviously, but... we only have the growth. We can just go ahead and do that, although it won't do much for us. Fortunately, yeah, that friend dies. Now we're left with just the big one. We're weak. Oh, and the plated is the other thing. So we can't get out value from that. Let's get that up. Alright. We now have all of our buffs. Or, no, we're missing mana boost. But we still get 4 cards from that, so we'll probably play it. Sure. There's no way to actually get to 0 now. That's not going to freeze. That's not going to do that much damage. I think we just get the more shield. Let our squad keep attacking. Plan here is to, yeah, do this to start stacking powerful on everyone, which is obviously going to be a huge game. We do have actual all of our... No, we're short the wits. We can play this into that and draw 6 cards. That seems worthwhile. I think we're actually going to just do that. Gets us to 6. We can do that. Slowly working our way through. And yeah, so we took some damage here, but especially after you count for that, we didn't take too much. And Mind Blast seems okay. I don't know that we're stacking. I kind of want the Icy Chains, though. I don't know that we're stacking. No, the Spirit Swarms get better the more of them we have, so we just take more of them. I don't think the Vindictive Aura is that good, but that seems good. I think... I don't know that the Pierce is a huge part of our strategy at this point, but I don't want to cut it yet. I don't know that it's not a part. Let's see what we get here. Sure. And then this fight could be annoying, but the advantage is because there's so little space, we can just immediately start stacking powerful. Which is going to be helpful. Yeah, like this guy gets 50 friggin' shield on turn 1, which is completely reasonable from a normal enemy in Area 1. Fortunately, this attack is bugged and doesn't actually do anything right now. Okay, so I can actually do both. So we're going to do that to get Adept. And then we're going to do this to, I think, make your day worse. Because you're doing something to hurt yourself. I think you're taking away some of your own shield. I think this thing is supposed to be doing damage based on how much shield it has. Yeah, because it eats up a lot of its shield. And so that's what's going on there. Alright. Let's see. We want to get the focus off. Several ways to do it. I think we want to stop you from doing your AoE attack. And then I wish I knew which attacks led to what, but I don't really yet. I think we want to meditate, and then we want to just freeze you. Make things easy. More powerful. This is going to do 14. It's not that good. This is going to do 22, which seems okay. Bonk. That's going to do, yeah, not quite enough to kill you. I needed to get this out, but I didn't. I think we're going to freeze you. So we're going to take some damage here, but less than our recoverable. So you're now... That back end is now almost dead. Bonk. Yeah, so we're not actually going to get drop below max recoverable, which is nice. So that doesn't hurt us too bad. Although it does mean that we kind of need to get shield out here. This is going to give us mana boost, which is going to get us more out of this, which I think is worth it. I think we hobble. Yeah. Even though I would have really liked to have gotten more powerful out here. I think that was the correct play. Ugh, yeah, it was, especially with that happening. And we just lost some health again. Unfortunate. We can finish you off. And I think we just have to get the shield. I really did think that we had lethal on that front one, but not quite. Okay. Heavy stand. Height of knowledge. Let's get more powerful out. And then we can, sure, freeze you. Bonk. We get now a lot of mana every turn, which is nice. Goodbye. Have a bad day. Get more buff stacks. We have plenty of adept because we now have 2 adept sources. And they both do other stuff for us that make them worth keeping. So that's what we want to get out. Because even if we don't do damage, we still get to kill with that. I think this is going to be kill it. Yep. Okay. So we lost another point of health, another couple points of health there, but not too bad. We don't have any strikes. The middle growth is okay. That does give us tough though, and it means that if we find a strike, it's pretty good. That seems okay. I don't know what all this boss does. Oh, it starts by applying 2 of... Oh no, it does something different. It must have a random set of things it does. Because that's not what it did the first time when I fought it last time. I maybe should have gotten that tough up, but it'll be fine. It does have a lot of health for an Area 1 boss though. It's 270. This turn, it is applying, random status, which I knew that it could do from previous times I fought it. The real risk here is that if it does, if it freezes us, we're in trouble. Okay, it didn't. We have all of our buffs. This draws us 6 cards, which it feels hard for that not to be worth it. I think this might give us... Yeah, okay. Once again, we are at the mercy of please don't apply 13 or 14 frost to us. Okay, it applied frost, but it only applied 10. The fact that this thing just applies so much, can apply so much curse, that was also very annoying. Yeah, because we, again, like, one day decided that winning depth 1 shouldn't be possible for low-level characters. So he made it so that you can't get cleanse early. It froze out it doing nothing, which is very useful. I don't think it's worth burning it on Travels. We're going to lose 12 health to that, all that curse, though. Not enough time we can do about it. Okay. We can stack a lot of powerful, though. And we can get some tough. Yeah, we just have to kill this quickly because it just... Oh boy, that's a lot of curse. I think now we have to do this, though. We kind of are just stuck digging for... Like that. Helps. Okay. Corrupt and dispel yourself, one each. We cannot do that. When I first read this, I thought it was cleanse and disrupt yourself and dispel yourself, but no. Okay. I think Spry Vigor's fine. I think upgrading the spiritual one makes sense. I think we just got the undying persistence. Yeah. Okay, so we are now in much safer territory. We can still die here very easily, but I know the lay of the land at least. So, what do we want? I think we want to fight that because it drops good stuff. We get to start with an Angry Spirit. That seems actually pretty good. That means that it is that much sooner before our whatever start ticking. These fights can be dangerous for us, but I really want to go into this. Although, like, these elites can also be difficult, but I think it's worth it. I actually already knew this bug. He'll attack the right guys, but he's slightly confused. I'm gonna take some damage here, because okay, that's a bug. The bug is that we didn't get growth from the thing shocking itself on us. I think we want to freeze one of these that is attacking us. Oh. Yeah. Give me a second. All right. Get the powerful out. We can draw some cards. All right. Oh. Sorry, I'm also conversing with One Day about the bug. Okay. That continues to be a good way to scale. Seal. We do need to kind of get out the drain life a few times, ideally each fight, so that we can get back to health. Because that is the thing, is like it only helps us to have that if we can get it out and get the heal. Like here. There we go. And now I'm fine with the fight ending. If we're only down 3, that's fine. But that helps us absorb, because like we didn't take that much damage this fight, but because we didn't have the extra cushion of health to lose, these are both pretty good to have. Spin relative to the other mana card, I think. We'll take the burning. Okay. Neither of these. We'll take the battery pack. We don't really get benefit out of the other one. And there's a lot of cards we could get from this fight. So here we go. Okay, so that's actually a very good freeze, because that means that this guy is not going to get to set up a bunch of plated this turn. We probably get Arcane detonated this turn. That's fine. We just have to do that, unfortunately, even though that doesn't work out great on the mana. Because otherwise we take a lot more damage. Yeah. Alright. Six over 9. That's pretty nice. Alright. There's some shield. Obviously we aren't huge fans of getting Arcane leaked, which is what's going to happen to us here in a moment, but it could be worse. Absolutely heavy stand. And that. And is this going to freeze? Yes. And it will take us to 9, so this one even, because of the extra +3 we have, we can even do that safely, which is nice. And then we get to get that kill, which is very good for us. We'd like to find drain life off it. There it is. Ask and you shall receive. Oh, I didn't get the shield out of that. Which fortunately is not going to matter, but... I am not watching closely enough to see if that trinket is tripping it. Okay, I think we want power surge. I think just addition, like more, lots of powerful stacking is good. The more powerful we can stack, the happier we are. This poor confused guy. Just gonna be poor and confused every single fight. This is another fight where the evasion is going to get dealt with by our lovely spirits. And we're going to... I say that and then we burn off both of it ourselves. But I wanted to get the whatever going. I want to get the health back. Yeah, the Pierce I think is definitely not a huge part of our win condition right now. So I probably should cut it. Hey, we're healed back to max recoverable. Do not like the poison. And I especially don't like the poison with no way to deal with it. But we at least aren't taking below recoverable. Alright, there's the drain life. Happy to see that. Is this going to freeze? No, so let's just do that. Okay, so fortunately this isn't going to get to do its thing. And yeah, we are just, the more spirit swarms we get, the happier we are. Once you are on the spirit swarm plan, you want to just keep taking them. Because every single one makes the others better. Okay. Okay, we can actually freeze you, which is cool. We take one. Powerful. Draw some cards. I think we want to get the heavy stand out. I think stacking sturdy is worth it. I should have done that first. It wouldn't have mattered, but I should have done that first. So our spirit friend is getting killed. But we got a lot of powerful out first. And we get to blow up one of those plated there, which is nice. Oh, hey, we got a freeze off of the chilling focus, which I should have known was going to happen. But I'm never good at paying attention. Draw some cards. Play that first. We can't freeze out either of them. But we can get a lot of damage on you. If we get so close to getting this freeze. Yeah, that's unfortunate. We are actually going to take some serious damage here. Nah. Okay. Just hoping to get through this without actually needing to rest. The Ice Blast is kind of questionable in some ways. Actually, that will freeze and use up the shock pretty effectively. This is a better way to use the shock. And then I do like preventing the heal though. I don't know how much of the noise is coming through. I'm dealing with various things on my desk because I'm odd like that. Okay, so we got that freeze off, which is fun. How much damage is that? 32? It's okay, I guess. Alright. Lots of all the buffs. Hey, we pulled that one off. We get 15 X2 out from our spirit. So we have that front one effectively dead to our spirit. Yeah, powerful stacking. It's good, actually. And, this isn't okay. We have adept and, well, we have adept pretty often. We have mana boost pretty often, and having those arcane detonations can be very good. The flash freeze is also very tempting. And the mana eruption is always good. I kind of like having just like one more way to apply a lot of frost. But I think I want the other arcane source more. That's very good. And we're going to upgrade the other Spirit Swarm because, again, they're so good. Stacking them is so good. And I think the Pierce is going to go because it has just been kind of disappointing. And we'll go here. Defending the eggs gets us a trinket that's okay. And I don't think it'll actually hurt us that bad to do. I mean, I could be wrong. If we end up taking a bunch of damage here, I'm going to feel really dumb. On the other hand, if we get some heals off here, that'd be cool. Occurs to me I did this wrong. I should have frozen one of the back ones because this front one might die. Okay. Is it better to get shield or to freeze one of the back ones? It's the same total amount of effective defense either way. Okay. Okay. Let's freeze out you, because you're just going to die to the spirits. Which means the back one is not going to do that much damage. And they're both going to try and summon now, but the front one is toast. So let's freeze out the back one. I think the front one is toast even without, yeah. We didn't need the evasion. We need the shocks. Okay. We would like to find drain life. Value. And we can just get arcane detonation for the win. And then that gets us this, which is just a handy thing to have. Alright. Just immediately start stacking powerful. Is it worth playing Arcane Horseshoe here? I don't think so. I don't think yet. Well, I say that. Alright, that's fine. Because the other thing is we can use this to get rid of status, a bit of status next turn. Which seems pretty good. See what we get out of that. More powerful. We don't have a ton of... we're going to explode here. Just going to lose us a little bit of our powerful, but shouldn't be too bad. Okay, we actually only lost one, which is very good for us. I think we have to freeze... Actually, we can just freeze both of them out. That works out great. And then I think we're just going to work on wailing down that one. Add up to minutes. So that immediately turns on 2 modes of that. This turns on another mode, and so we can pop you twice. Oh, and then it pops it again. Okay, so we are going to take damage here because we're going to take an arcane detonation as well, but that's not, that could be a lot worse. Ah, that's really annoying. But it shouldn't be too bad. Okay. We can immediately replace our fallen spirit. And then we're very likely to get mana here. We did not. We got like the worst. That was one of the 2 worst possible draws. I should have just played the Drain Life. We're going to freeze out one of you. Just kill you. And we're going to take another point of damage here. Oh, okay. We are not quite going to detonate, but we get very close. Okay. Let's see. We're going to take a detonation here. If we take from this, but we only take the 1. And I think that's better than letting that do its thing. Yeah. Because we don't want the arcane leak next turn. Taking more damage here than I would have liked. I mean, of course, more than 0 is more damage than I would have liked, but you know what I mean. Okay, that's going to do an amount of damage. That's going to do a lot of damage to you. Okay. Fight's over, basically. And we aren't going to get out more. Okay, so we are going to have to rest again before this boss. I think it could be a lot worse. We really need this Gleaming Aegis here. That's not the thing I meant to click, but it's fine. This is not great. That's pretty useless, but okay, I think we have to burn this reroll and get this Gleaming Aegis, and we have to upgrade it. Because we need that purity. We don't have any other source of it. And it's still probably not going to be enough in this fight, but we take what we can get. Let's go ahead and rest in case we get a fight here. See what event we get. Okay, we could stay and observe, but we do not want to risk anything. We're not interested in fighting Dragonfly Rider with this. Let's see. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. Seems like a good time for this and that. I think we don't actually play the chill because we can block this. Okay, so this turn we would have really liked, we probably will freeze out actually this turn. Since that will let us avoid getting cursed. Because we didn't find our, whatchamacallit yet. We didn't find the Gleaming Aegis on the bottom of the deck. Fortunately, because we have the width, we definitely get it this turn. That Doom we can't do anything about, but it should be fine. Right. We don't actually want to play this Ice Blast this turn, I think. Because I think we are fine. We would rather have this thing get doomed so then we can deal with it. Because we get 50 damage for every Doom proc we can force it to take. And I think we can kill it in under 7 turns. I could be wrong. We'll see. Just getting insane value out from... the powerful stacking from having this many spirit swarms. Sure. Also enjoying getting all those detonations out. to not get cursed, although all of our minions did. That should be fine. They've got a few turns before they will actually be in trouble. We get perfectly enough shield. Yeah, okay, we really want the self-doom to come out one more time, so then we can pop that, and we should be in business. Let's draw more cards. Alright. And there's the, that will effectively pop the doom, and I think this wins us the fight. Because, yeah, we actually went off the burn proc before the doom can go off. Okay, I like elemental barrier. I think we just want additional shield. I think this does more for us. Well, this replacing that seems okay. Once we've stacked a lot of powerful, that's potentially very good. And I think that the random shock isn't doing that much for us. Upgrades. Meditate Plus is pretty good. We may actually take Heavy Stand Plus. That takes us to a +1 from Sturdy each time we play it, which I think is worth it. Right. There's this fight, which is just bugged right now. We are fighting Maw, which means that we really need to fight this, and it may not be enough, but we have to do it. Our other options, we can try and go through these, but I don't think that's tenable. I think we are probably going to go through it there, though, although that means fighting this guy, which is also untenable. We'll start here and see what happens. We may not even get that far, but it's important to have dreams, I think. I think we want to horseshoe because we would like to find shields. That's shields. We kind of want more sturdy sources. I don't remember if I put that thing in the pool, but the heavy stand in the pool, but I'm now wishing that I had. Okay, this actually works out very nicely. And we can detonate here. We have wit, so this will do damage. We have both of the arcane detonation triggers. This guy will explode. Let's just do that. And I think we get just all the shield this turn. I should have gotten the shield and then blown up the back one. It's going to blow itself up on our thing anyway. Oh, but it's not going to die. It's just going to take a bunch of damage. And we can just freeze you for our own value. Front one burns to death. We want shield so that we can get so we can kill this safely. Although I think we're going to go at that. I really should have just gone at this and just gotten it off the board, but yeah, powerful stacking is pretty good. One day it's gonna nerf Spirit Swarm if he watches these videos. I apologize. I'm over here getting Spirit Swarm nerfed. I mean, a lot of this is just the result of having 3 of them. So that may qualify as like reasonable, just like a plan. But it's also kind of unreasonable. Hunter's Focus is very good. I like having that. I mean, it's less important right now, considering what else we've got going on. All right, we did get that upgrade. It's a very good thing we got that upgrade, because that would have been very unfortunate if we didn't meet the condition for it. We had to actually do that fight, which is a possibility. This upgrade is only 2 more shield. I don't think we want that. I think Hobble being cheaper may actually be worthwhile, and getting wits for longer, because we're not cycling our deck fast enough. Yeah, I think that's better than this. Elemental Complex gets cheaper, but I don't think that much. I think Hobble is the upgrade here. There's also an argument to be made for Mana Shield Plus here. I don't think we want any of that. Just wait and observe. Okay, we're not actually going to take that though, I think. I don't think we actually want it. I think we'd rather have the things that we have. Alright. Let's see. Thank you. Are we taking damage? We are not taking damage. Oh, sorry. We're not taking damage, which means I find it interesting. Or we're not taking damage beyond our recoverable. Because we have the +3 max arcane, which is going to come in huge handy here. Boom. Didn't get us. Come in huge handy. Them's the words that people use. I am normal human being. Faults are fire. Normal human being. Like you, human. Okay. I want to play this, but if I use that, I don't necessarily have to. We're going to start with this. And then we're going to do that. Okay. Oh, we have to do that. Sturdy up. I don't feel amazing about our odds against small, but I think it's possible. Would we be able to use these this turn? They'll be 6. They'll cost 3. So we're spending 8 here. No, we couldn't. Not really. Oh, we didn't have any of the conditions that I just thought we did. Okay, but we got our purity stacks out. So we aren't going to get got here, which is nice. Yeah, we get to negate, because that would have been a whole lot of curse if we hadn't been able to block that. And then so these barriers, each barrier we have reduces the incoming status by 2, which is very good for us. I think we can play that because we have the drain life. Plus cards. Okay. We got some mana out, which is nice. We got all of the powerful stacking going, which is of course amazing. We don't want to blow ourselves up. We don't have to. We can get some purity. Some of it's going to go away right here, but fortunately we also got that kill. Courtesy of our amazing spirit squad. I didn't even think about the mid boss we're passing into, which is going to be kind of a pain in the butt. Okay, at this point we will do that. If we explode, it's totally worth it. I don't want to waste a... Oh, because we're going to explode from this. If we hadn't done that, we would have exploded from that 8. But we had a purity, so we didn't even lose any of our buffs. Alright, and now we can finally actually freeze this back one. Aha, taste it. Also, taste that. One of these days I will remember to use the cannon blast at the start of the turn. We're going to be able to use them. They're going to do a big damage. Let me do that first. Yeah, they're going to do 21 damage. More than that if they're shocked. If they get shocked. Goodbye. Yeah, that was a very clean fight, and that is a fight that can be very, very not clean. Alright, we already have a way to get purity. I think we'd rather have clear focus. The other spirits thing would have been nice, but I think that was more valuable. I think that the shock robes are fine. This is probably better. Is it? How much do we care about the shock rune? We don't care about the shock rune, and we have shock barrier already from elemental barrier, so that's probably fine. All right, this is another fight that could go poorly, especially if they decide to come out with all of their curse like they were doing. Actually, we want to do that first so that we can get... So we're going to do this because we want to get... We want to freeze one of them. Oh, but then I can't do this, and I thought I could. That's fine, I guess. We are going to get cursed here. We would have been cursed from the other one anyway, and it's only 2 cursed, so... when whatever comes back around, it'll be fine. Okay. We have... I really wish this gave you a better sense of which ones you have. We do have all of them. I just had to actually look at my cards to figure out. Scan shield. Let's honk you. And then we don't quite freeze there. Do we want to just detonate? Just do the other stuff? I think so. And it's going to freeze itself when it hits its start, which actually works out very cleanly because we have the elemental barrier up. Alright. You just stack some powerful. You know, like you do. We can freeze, or we could get this. I think we're just going to play that, because I don't think it's worth freezing against that specific turn, because it's a pretty weak turn. Okay, this guy we have to freeze out this turn. So, fortunately, we can... Oh, no, we actually can't. Well, maybe we can. Nope. Okay. We can get out our Cannon Blast this turn. Boop, boop. And sure. Tag you. We got a lot of shield. This isn't enough to one-shot these guys, so it should be fine. The mana boost we can't consistently maintain. Trying to figure out which buff it was that we were missing. Okay, and we did damage to shocked enemies, which means that the only quest we have left is take extra turns with Frenzy, which we just do not have cards to do. Alright. So, we have conditions for this. And we have a whole lot of powerful. It is funny, our baby spirit that doesn't have any powerful. No, it does. Sure, we'll freeze you, why not? At this point. So Maw can kill our spirits, which is going to be a problem, but fortunately there's only room for 2, which actually is good for us. Sublime Blast is interesting. Mucktide is also interesting. I think we'll take Mucktide. And upgrading Mucktide is also very good, because then it is just 2 mana, and we just get a treasure and a sludge shot, which is pretty nice. I should have upgraded Clear Focus, but we can do that after mid-boss. Mid-boss could be annoying, because it summons a bunch. So this is going to come down to... our ability to freeze it, I think. There's no point really playing that, I think. I do want to play that. Okay, so 2 summons are coming out. The other thing is some of these summons explode, and the exploding summons are annoying because they will explode and deal damage to our guys. We can, however, reduce the amount of damage that the explosion does very slightly. It's not gonna. No, it will matter because that means that exactly 2 explosions was lethal. Now it will need an additional explosion to kill our guys, which actually does matter. I think we're probably just gonna freeze this guy out. Oh no, because this one's just dying anyway. We can't freeze you out. I should have gotten that adept out first, but The important thing here is there's nothing good is happening for us this turn. That's, I guess. The important thing is, but I don't have any fault to that. That sounds good. Okay, let me think. I'm bad at thinking, so you'll have to give me a bit. We have both of the things we need for arcane detonations. And we're also going to do damage. So I think we want to use that. Blow up some of that powerful. And by some, I mean one. You're going to die, which is nice. For us, I mean, it's obviously bad for it. I think we're actually just going to do that, because that math just kind of works out nicely. And we have enough shield that this isn't a huge problem. Boop. Okay. We are going to have some of our dorks summoned over here. Which is unfortunate, but... yeah, so this is where I was talking about. This guy's going to explode again and do more damage. We can freeze out this round of summoning, though. Do more damage to you. We can draw a bunch of cards. I think we just want to get damage on you while we've got the chance. You're going to explode. Be a jerk. But the back ones live for one more turn. And there's no point in doing that because we don't need it this turn. And hopefully this isn't... there are turns that it summons two things. I'm hoping this isn't one of them. Boop. It is not. Although when this guy dies, it's going to take out all of our swarm. Which, you know, not my favorite thing. I could prevent one of the swarm from coming out by doing that. I don't know if it's worth it. By arcane detonating here. And that'll prevent our front. I don't think it's worth it. I think we'd rather just have a clean swarm. I do think we want to go ahead and kill you now. Alright, we summon out the first of the pack. Welcome back! Don't ask what happened to your predecessors. You don't need to know that information. Dresses were a great place to work. Oh. Not paying attention. Oop. Yeah, we don't quite get that freeze off. Sooner or later I'll use the cannon blast. I'm kind of trying to get as much powerful out as possible, I think. Although, that's probably the extent of what we're going to get. Alright, that's actually very good. There you go. One down. You're dead. And now this front one is going to die. Everything else on the battlefield is dead, but we live. We didn't take any damage. This is interesting. Can we afford it? What are we fighting next? I think we're avoiding, like, I would like to have one of the cards here, but it's a 1 in 4 chance, which I don't think is worth it. I think we're just going through an event. We're dodging CPU, by the way. We're definitely not gonna deal with that nonsense. And we're gonna dodge the elites on our way up. That makes some of those fights easier. Does it make Maw easier? I think so, overall. Because I think that just any ways that we can find to get damage out faster. I think that this is better than either of those. Although this may be better than the rickety hand cannon. Hand cannon's been fine, I guess. No, that could be more useful in certain turns. And then upgrade, I think we need to upgrade this because it's our only cleanse. And we probably do need to cut something to make space. And I think it's just the burning focus. Yeah, I think the burning focus is kind of... It's our weakest mana card, and I think that we're doing okay on mana once we get rolling. Fortunately, these fights are all fairly easy, with the exception of maybe the Poison Golem Double Hunter. Oh, and I didn't think about the fact that the weather event may make things more difficult, but I think, famous last words, that it'll be fine. It's over. We've got you surrounded. Create a free temporary copy of the next non-trinket skill you play this turn. All right, the Reflect is mostly annoying because it means that our spirits are going to take damage potentially. Okay. The ordering here feels weird. Because I know that I've done this before. I'm pretty sure I've had mirror fights before where it went front to back here. I'll have to ask one day, I think, which is the intended experience. Gonna pop off that. Well, because they attacked here. I don't know. I do not know. We can do that safely. You're just gonna get this mana. I don't know why I bothered with that. I am just kind of throwing cards, I guess. Everyone gains Reflect 3 again. Yeah, this is annoying because that's just gonna mean that our spirits can just die. Okay. How many cards are we going to draw here? 4, I think. We can tag you, or try to at least. And then I think we're actually fine with doing this. We have plenty of shield, I think. Everyone gets their shield. We definitely have enough shield now. And it's actually very good for us because that means that our spirits are now shielded. It makes our life much easier. Should I just go ahead and do that? Because we've got lots of mana this turn. Yeah, you can have that powerful. Everyone gains 30 shield. Okay. Frozen. And let's see. I think we want to freeze this one. Let's do that first. We've got the Strain Life, which will heal us. Let's go ahead and take you out of the picture. I think we want to get our barriers back. Because you're going to freeze yourself hitting us. Again, nothing happens. I'll have to check my other video for whenever I have the mirrored fight, because I don't remember. Because I really do think there was a point where things went the other direction, but I would have to go double check. Pop it, pop. Mirror Mist says everyone. Mirror Mist does not want the fight to end. I don't know why this feels so disorienting, considering it's relatively straightforward. Like, this shouldn't. The fact that this is the battlefield is mirrored shouldn't mess with me as bad as it does. Pop you. Okay. Nice and clean fight. More hobbles are fine. I actually kind of like Bane against going into Maw. That's a way to scale up damage against Maw. Taking 5 is fine. It's another the same fight, but this time it's not mirrored. Except for this guy who is always mirrored. He just wants to look at our pretty face. I don't love freezing these guys out normally because like that means that they will still be hidden next turn, but I think it's worth it. Take 2, it's fine. especially because we've got this heal ready, which I think heals up to 10. Oh no, it only heals. Yeah, I think it heals up to 10. No, it heals 8. Okay. Yep. I should have just hit this one. I don't know why I didn't. There we go. And then I think we are going to just use that. Love getting that damage out from the curse, because it really does just add up pretty quick. I think we are going to draw this, because that should be safe-ish. Okay, we don't have great ways to get shield out here, unfortunately. Unless we just like risk it by, but we aren't drawing enough cards, I think, to justify that. So, we're going to get shield out, we're going to get purity out, and we're going to take 22 damage. Which is unfortunate. But we still have a rest left, so I think we're actually fine. Okay. You're just gonna die. So I would rather just work on getting damage out on you. And if you hit us 3 times, you are going to detonate yourself. So that seems cool. Goodbye. Powerful stacking is fair. Would love to find the drain life before we end the fight, obviously. Maybe play it twice if we can, but I don't think we're going to be able to draw through it twice. Especially not if I keep playing other things. Oh no! What is in it? Yeah, there's no mana there. This is unfortunate because we can't usefully get that out. Play that. Drain life was the last possible card that could have been, was the worst possible card it could have been. Okay. Let's see what we get. Still no drain life. Stack all the powerful. Blow this dork up. Goodbye. Okay. Dead of Night is pretty good. I also really just like having another killing focus. Neither of these seem amazing. Alright, we have one more fight to get through. Going into this without resting could be risky. I'm going to trust it'll be okay, but that could be a horrible mistake. Although getting that weak right off the bat is nice. We're going to play that. Cleanse ourselves. I think we do get that out, which I realize is a little bit risky. And we're going to freeze you because you're the one that's actually going to do something that would be a problem. Because the nice thing is these 3 are going to triple threat themselves on our barrier next turn. Okay. We're going to do it like this. And then... yeah, we are using enough of this shield that I don't feel bad about doing that. Okay. Yeah, so these 2 are now out of the fight for the turn. And this one will not get its poison blood back until now. It's only going to get poison 1 out on us, which is nice. Okay, we only draw 2 cards here, or 1 card here. That's fine. That was actually a very good 1 card to draw. Okay, I think that ensures that, yeah, this guy's going to get finished off. So, that's nice. And we don't take any damage here, which is also very nice. so you're dead to these guys, which is good. Sure, more curse. Why not? Did I get its lethal? Yes. Okay. Going into the Maw fight with full health. I think I'll take another meditate. I think that gives us a lot of boosts that we like. I think we will take a temporary buff. Wits buff going in is nice. And we could cut a card. I don't think there's anything here that we really, really want to make go away, though. So I think we're just going to roll. Okay. This is annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Let's see. We can't freeze unless we get that, although now we can. And that actually seems worthwhile. Is it better than getting out curse? Maybe not. Oh, but this is AoE attacks, so yeah, we want to do that. And we can still use this, which I think we want to do. Okay, so now starting next turn, we'll be able to start stacking powerful with our Dorkums. 8x3 is annoying. One might even go so far as to say that it's rude. Trying to look for mana. Okay, that's mana. Because we want to get this shield out. Trying to think what will we play here. I think this is what we do. We didn't get out the Power Surge, unfortunately, but we did get out the mana boost from the Meditate, which is nice. Okay. That's going to get played. I think we do want to get that barrier. Yeah, see, this is where our spirits start being doomed. Or cursed, I guess. Fortunately, we can shifting focus to freeze here. Although we may not want to, because we can, we would rather have the freeze off the frost barrier, because that'll take it out for next turn as well. And so this is kind of why I'm okay with words. I don't even remember what my point was going to be. This is why I'm okay. I'm okay. I think that's my point, is that I'm okay. See what we draw? Sure. Go get our life back. We'll get our life back. Oh, this working with getting powerful, we just like can pop it off somewhat regularly. More powerful. More cards. More powerful. That's a completely reasonable amount of frost to be getting from a chilling focus. Right, so we've got 2 more turns before our spirits die. All right. I think we're just going to go ahead and get out some of these finally, because we can play out 3 of them and then cleanse off. And yeah, the curse is actually mattering at this point, because it is stacking slowly but surely. We do not want to waste a frost on this, on the purity, although that worked out pretty cleanly. And then I think we're actually going to get the other. I didn't also want to play curse into that. Goodbye. Okay, that actually worked out perfectly on that shield. It's like I planned it. No, I did not plan it. I am incapable of planning. I'm very bad at planning. One of the two. Maybe both. Maybe neither. And let's not get cursed. Alright, yeah, this is going to be a very clean fight. So the trick is that if you just always get 3 spirit swarms, they will win you the run. It's that easy. And then we can just get more purity and play out one of these, because we may as well. And that's lethal, I think. Oh no, not quite, but very close. I'm going to print screen this real quick. I want to get my cat out of in front of my computer so that I can see my screen. And then I want to do that. All right, so we did it. We made it. We even had an extra rest. That went staggeringly well and took us to level 6. So yeah, that's it for this video. See you guys next time when I will upload more packs and do more stuff. Maybe it'll be elite cards depending on whether or not one day gets this patch out. Till then, toodles.